Hello YouTubers, today we finally get to talk about the best warm-up, or at least the warm-up that I think that gets the best out of me, because today we are rehearsing the 2K race, or at least the 2K warm-up for pre-2K race on Saturday in Paris in the World Rowing Indoor Championships. But before we go over the warm-up, I would like you to do two things which really help out the channel. If you are not subscribed already, I'd really appreciate if you could hit that subscribe button, and if you are subscribed, please hit that like button. Both of those really do help the channel and really been helping out with the channel and it growing over the past month. In the beginning of 2020, the Yam squad is getting bigger and bigger, but now it's time to go to the gym to get the pre-2K rehearsal warm-up in, and I'll go over it with you as we go through the warm-up itself. So today we've got a 1K to do, so this is Thursday, then we have a sort of just easy day Friday, travel day, which will be going over tomorrow, and then the big dance on Saturday where we get to do a 2K in anger to see how fast I can go for 2,000 meters on the rowing machine. But we're going to finish off the walk with the puppies and then get to the gym and go over the warm-up. Oh yeah! Okay, we've made it into the gym after finishing walking the puppies. On the erg now to do the warm-up pre-1K, which is the rehearsal for the 2K on Saturday in Paris. So, what does the warm-up consist of? Well, what I like to do is get a little row that doesn't really mean anything in. What do I mean by that? Well, 1 to 2K of literally just sort of going up and down the slides. So I'll be doing 230 splits or so, and then working it down as it comes towards the end of that distance. So probably do 1K today, then maybe a bit longer on Saturday. And then after I've done that sort of very slow piece, just to sort of get the body moving a little bit, I do UT2 for 2K. For me, that's about 155, but I've got my heart rate monitor on to get me in the right zones. So about 155 roughly, but by the end of that 2K, I should be pretty warm, pretty sweaty. And then after that 2K, I'll go into some bursts. And so what I'll usually generally do is do a longer burst at the UT1 rate, so about 23, about a minute, 24, 23 strokes, and a little bit lower. So the split will probably be around 145s, and then go a bit higher again, so close to race pace in rate and split, so maybe a rate 30 at maybe 132, 133. Then we'll go into another burst heading up into race pace, just a little short ones, so probably around rate 35 at not full flat out, so maybe 129s for me. And then after that I'll look at the time, have a little bit of a rest, and do 1 minute at race pace. So for me, I'm aiming around 27, 28, 29, depending on if I want to, depending how I'm feeling, and then I'll have 20 minutes from that minute at race pace till the start of the piece. In that 20 minutes, you basically just have to keep ticking over. So short bursts, keeping warm, moving around, try not to get cool. It's a bit warm in here today, so hopefully it prepares a little bit for the Paris indoors. Don't want it to be too hot, but obviously in a big stadium event place, you can't control the temperature yourself. So hopefully it's not too hot, but today I won't be using the fan just to mimic what could happen on Saturday. But now getting on with the first part of the warm-up, which is the just steady 1K. Charlie is getting on with his Row Perfect workout, which hopefully I can get on after Paris. But we'll finish the first K, not sweaty, just getting the body moving, getting the body a little bit more awake. Now 2K at UT2, and hopefully I'll be a little bit sweatier after this. finished the 2K, a little bit sweaty now, warming up. Now it's time to do the bursts and the 1 minute before we get 20 minutes of rest, almost. But heart rate there, just mid 120s to high 120s, getting a little bit sweaty. Now time for the next part of the workout. And we've finished the 1 minute and some bursts. That doesn't really show you anything, so with the bursts, as you saw on the screen, that's kind of the paces I want to go, and that doesn't apply to you, so you have to kind of figure out the paces you want to go if you were following this warm-up. With the minute at pace, probably overcooked this slightly. I would really want to see just slightly slower, so I'll probably average in the 28s for that one. I probably want to start off in the 29s for the actual piece, but for today, since it's a 1K, that minute might actually be a bit too much, but for a 2K, it's a good amount pre-piece. And the whole idea of doing the minute at pace is to wake up the lungs, wake up the body, get it going, feeling the burn a little bit to encourage your body to go in. It's like, okay, I actually have to be ready for the next set whenever it comes, as opposed to when if you just didn't do any bursts or any intensity pre-piece, your body spends a little bit of time at the start of the piece trying to work what's going on here. Okay, now we're switching into gear. So hopefully the whole idea of doing that minute is your car's already in gear and you're ready to go. Your engine, your body is in gear, ready to go for the piece itself. So now got 16 minutes to play around, do a couple of bursts, no real bursts, 10 minutes prior, just keeping on moving, keeping the warmth in the body, and then we go for today 1K, but on Saturday 2K. So probably see you after the 1K. Oh, you. And finished the 1K, 257.3, 128.6 average, rate 36. So a little bit over pace for a little bit of it, but pretty on it for the last part. And it's really difficult because you're at 2K pace for 1K, so you finish it and you're like, it's manageable for 1K, but is it manageable for 2K? Well, that's the question we're going to find out on Saturday in Paris at the Indoor World Rowing Championships. So that will be it for today's episode, Jam Squad. Hopefully you enjoyed it. A lot of people have been asking about how do you warm up, what do you do, and that warm up today was pretty on it. Usually when you get the warm up wrong or you've not warmed up, if you're doing a high intensity piece longer than a minute or so, you do that piece, and at some point in that piece, usually quite quickly, your legs are on fire, your lungs are on fire. You're like, oh my goodness, I've made a bad decision. But if you've warmed up correctly, that generally doesn't happen unless you've went out with the fly and die approach. Also, what the warm-up can also help with is the 2K throat, 2K lung, 2K cough. When you're warmed up correctly, that can be limited, where your throat is all warm, lungs are ready to accept the rush of air that's going to come in, your body is ready to go. Like I said, it's like a car, you're in gear, you're ready to go on that start line, rather than you're parked with the park and brake on, you're in neutral and you have to like fiddle around, take the park and brake off, put it into first gear and go. You're warmed up, ready to go, ready to do a burnout, and off you go. But that will be it for today's episode, Jam Squad. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Again, as always, remember to subscribe if you haven't already, hit that like button, and I'll see you tomorrow for our trip to Paris. Oh yeah!